Hey everyone, welcome to my digital portfolio. I'm just going to refresh real quick so you can see what my landing page looks like. So there you go, my title and my subhead fly in. So basically I'm a student journalist. I decided to make a personal portfolio for my final new media production project, just to showcase some of my work and doing that using skills that I learned in class. So scrolling on down, there's a little bit of parallax here to move my photo back up, and then in flies a short description, short and sweet for the front page. I custom made this logo using some Photoshop and some other techniques to put it in the div tag there. And then I custom made all these navigation tools, which are also mobile responsive, which I'll show you later. So that's all the cool stuff. Scrolling down, you go straight into my publications. So here's all the places I've written for you. You have the AJC, USA Today, the Red and Black, Ampersand Magazine, Georgia Magazine, and some others. So these all go to separate search queries on those websites for my names. So that's pretty cool, and they pop out when you hover over them, which is a nice bit of jQuery and CSS styling that I learned through this project. So if you click on one, like USA Today College, it'll take you to a separate screen, and that's just a search for my name on that site. So you can see all the stuff that I've written for that publication, which is cool. So basically the main premise of my portfolio is just to do something that is constantly updating itself. Journalists especially don't have a whole lot of time to be coding and entering new HTML for their website. So I wanted it to be as responsive to my readers and my life as possible, so I wouldn't have to always be updating it to get my newest content. So this is a good way to do that. Scrolling down into social media, this is an embed that I use through RebelMouse, which basically pulls your various social media channels and puts them into a nice little mosaic format for you. So I have my Instagram, Flickr, LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts. So my readers who come to my site can see all those things right here, which is nice because I don't have to constantly be updating my website with that. And that's also important because I eventually do want to be in social media production in the future, so this is a good way to put all that right on my front homepage, and it looks pretty, so that's cool too. Scrolling on down, here's my footer. There's a nice picture of me just in case you want to see what I look like behind the byline. Here's my contact information and my social channels, just in case you want to reach out to those separately, and my tweets, because Twitter's life for journalists, and that's on every page. That's pretty convenient. So moving right along to About, each page has this nice little header with this cool color, which I like. It's a nice contrast and shows really what the page is about. So scrolling down, here's another brief introduction, just telling you that I'm a writer, I'm a journalist, and I do all this stuff, which is great. And scrolling down, this is my favorite part of my site. It is basically like a jQuery function that loads these bars with color based on percentages. So I did it for a number of years. I've used each individual skill. So 5 is the max, so that would be 100%, and then Adobe Creative Suite I've used for 4 years, so that'd be 80%. So that was a cool way just to visually show what I know, and besides just having this little paragraph here and a picture of myself in the CSS. So that's pretty cool. And then scrolling on down, you see my resume fly in, which is nice. And if you click on that, it's downloaded right to your computer, which is super convenient. So there's that, and then scrolling down, here's my experience. It's just a little bit of background just in case you don't want to download my resume. And you can also check out these publications separately in case you don't know what they are. So that's the About section. Moving on to the actual portfolio, I kept it pretty simple. A lot of my website's very simple, very sweet, to the point, kind of like me. So here's the loading page. It's every article, or the top 9 articles, honestly, that I really love. So each one kind of flies out when you hover over it, kind of like the home page, and then you have my headline and then what publication it is right below that. So that's pretty convenient. And then if you click on one of them like this, it'll go to that online asset on the native site of the publication. So that's great because it links right to it and it shows prospective employers that I actually have written for that site. So you can go on back to check out my other publications. Here's this, and they're organized based on newspaper, online, magazine, multimedia, just in case someone wants to see a specific kind of publication. And those pages are kind of cool. They fly in with jQuery functions. online. Here's all my online stuff and magazine and multimedia. So that's a pretty cool function just in case you want to see what kind of stuff I've done. So moving on to the blog function, or section rather. Yep, you have the header, and a lot of the stuff, the blogs particularly, gave me some trouble. I use an HTML template for this whole website, and it sounds pretty simple, but once you actually delve into the code, it's kind of hard to make it look exactly how you want it to how you want it to look. So the blog especially was hard because there was like a native HTML editing function where you could have a blog right in the code, but I thought that was kind of impractical because people, especially journalists, don't have a lot of time to just upload, and update their server with HTML all the time when they're blogging. So I decided just to embed my Medium profile. It fits perfectly on the page, it looks great, and I haven't posted anything yet, but once I start blogging, it'll post all those posts right here, right on my page, which I think is super convenient. And if I'm on the go, if I'm posting from my phone on Medium's app, then it'll just go right to my blog page. So yeah, that kind of fits into the concept of my site because I'm always on the go, so I wanted my site to have a lot of embeds using a lot of the tools that I learned in the production class, so it can pull content right into my HTML instead of me manually updating it. And that kind of takes me to the contact page. So you have the pretty banner again. You scroll down and it's very simple. It's just a Google form that we learned how to do. Originally, again, there was like a native HTML function where you could have a form, but I thought that was a little impractical as well. So this is nice and convenient because you can enter your information. It'll just take you right to a spreadsheet in my Google Drive. So yeah, that's my site. Really simple. Kept it short and sweet. And yeah, come back to my site in the future to see some blog posts and some other updates to my journalism career. Thanks so much.